The royal family had always been a spectacle, a living drama full of moments designed to capture the world's attention. But this time, there was an unexpected twist. One prince was missing from an important family event. Why was he absent? Was he jetting off back to California for his latest Netflix project? Or maybe, just maybe, he simply couldn't find his suit in time. Either way, the real show was happening without him. Everyone else was there, dutifully paying their respects, while Harry? Well, no one was waiting for him, and frankly, no one noticed his absence. The central figure of this episode was the Duchess of Kent, who had recently passed away. As was customary with royal funerals, the entire royal family gathered to pay their respects and honor her memory. The somber occasion saw family members putting aside their differences and coming together in a show of unity as they paid tribute to the late Duchess. It was an event marked by quiet reverence, with the royal family showing up in full mourning attire, reflecting their respect for the deceased. However, there was one notable absence. Prince Harry, despite being a lifelong member of the family, was not present. His absence raised more questions than answers. What was the reason? Was he simply too busy with his life in California, far removed from the royal obligations? Did he forget about the funeral? Or perhaps he simply couldn't find his suit in time? Rather than diving into these trivial speculations, it was clear that something more significant was at play. The real question wasn't why he wasn't there, but why, once again, Harry seemed to be distancing himself from a crucial family moment. It seemed to be part of a pattern. The rest of the royal family had come together, showing up to honor their relative with dignity. But Harry, as usual, had opted out. The royal family certainly did not disappoint. Every single member showed up as expected. Dressed in black, with solemn expressions on their faces, it was clear that the occasion was not one of joy, but rather a quiet, respectful moment to honor the Duchess of Kent. They were a family, and in times like these it was important to be together. Among them was Prince William, Princess Catherine, and other close relatives, each walking with a sense of duty. Even those who were frail or less mobile made the effort to attend, some arriving on walking sticks. Yes, even those who usually preferred to stay out of the public eye. Everyone was there except for one glaring absence: Harry. Once again, he had chosen not to show up. What was he doing instead? Most likely back in California, caught up in his latest ventures? After all, he was always busy with something, whether it was filming his Netflix documentary, attending some high-profile event, or working on his latest Instagram post. Funerals? Well, they clearly weren't on his schedule. Even the most eccentric members of the family had made the effort to come, yet Harry couldn't seem to muster the decency to do the same. It wasn't just a casual absence. It was as if the event simply didn't matter to him. The rest of the family, despite their own personal challenges, had managed to prioritize this moment. But for Harry, well, it was all about whatever was next on his to-do list. His priorities, as always, were elsewhere. What was particularly striking about the event was the respect for tradition that everyone else showed. Prince William and Catherine, for example, embodied royal poise and decorum. Catherine wore a pearl necklace that had once belonged to the late Queen, a subtle but powerful symbol of respect and continuity. It wasn't just about style. It was about honoring the past and keeping the memory alive. Prince William, too, was there in full form. Respectful, dignified, with no need for fanfare or attention. He understood that this was a somber moment, not a spectacle. But then, of course, there was Harry. Not even in sight. Why? Because the moment Harry appears, the whole event becomes a circus. Why am I sitting in the second row? Where's my spot for the camera? Where are the Netflix cameras? Without these elements, it seemed he had no interest in being there. Funerals, after all, weren't places for the spotlight and drama, but Harry, it appeared, couldn't function without it. Where others honored the event with quiet respect, He, as always, seemed more concerned with the spectacle of it all. In the end, as expected, Harry was once again somewhere in California, while the true members of the royal family were doing what mattered, supporting each other and showing respect and remembrance for the Duchess of Kent. As for Harry, well, his absence had become almost customary by now. Will he show up next time? Probably. But only if the event turns into another opportunity for him to be in the spotlight. For now, there were no flowers, no gestures of support from him. He was exactly where he felt comfortable. And honestly, it was probably for the best that he didn't bother to show up. Harry did what he does best. Vanished. And perhaps at this point, it's just part of his brand. But honestly, when someone in the royal family continuously avoids participating in real, meaningful events, maybe it's time for the audience to just forget about him altogether.